Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the House of a Thousand Discourses, the Passion Project podcast that provides propaganda. Sorry for the whole echo there for a second, but I want to welcome you all back to the House of a Thousand Discourses. I am your host, Darren Duncan. I got to give a big shout out first to my producers, my patrons. For as little as $2 a month, you can support this channel on patreon.com/HO1D. And my producers so far are Linda Montez and Stephanie Flores. So thank you so much for that. I also have to mention I don't have to, but I'm going to because I'm a radical dude. Um, our sponsors for this channel are My Merch Guy. If you need some merch, hit up My Merch Guy. You can get 10% off if you go to mymerchguy.com and use HO1D for checkout code, and you'll get 10% off. Another thing too is one of my favorite horror books is Rabbit in Red, and the author is a sponsor of the show. Right now there's a Halloween special on the author's site. You can get the first two books in the series for only 25 bucks. That's $5 less than retail. Plus you can get them signed and personalized by the author. And did I mention? No, I didn't mention, but I'm going to mention it right now. You'll also get free shipping, and use code HOUSE1000 to get an extra 10% off on top of that sweet deal. So go to frightfest4d.com. And he's doing a special contest right now. Anyone who buys between now and October 31st gets entered to win a free copy of Barry the Rabbit. So let's hop into some fucking news, shall we? Again, I am Darren Duncan. You are now entering the House of a Thousand Discourses, the Passion Project podcast that provides propaganda. So this is pretty fucking crazy. This isn't bullshit, but this happened about 8 hours ago. As far as this link is concerned, this article was posted about 8 hours ago. I like to do these up top because this could be urgent. I don't know. I'm not involved, but the headline is Missing Janesville Woman and Her 1-Year-Old Daughter. So, Janesville police are asking the public for assistance to locate Drake Kangas, age 33, who, along with her 1-year-old daughter, are missing. Police said Kangas was last seen Tuesday, September 19th, at a Motel 6. Police said it is assumed that Kangas is with her daughter. Authorities said they are trying to locate Kangas to check on her and the child's welfare. So, if anybody has any kind of information on that, or their whereabouts or whatever, please contact the police. The phone number is 608-757-2244. She is a white female, age 33, with her 1-year-old daughter. She was last seen on Tuesday, September 19th, at a Motel 6. And her name is Drake Kangas. So if you guys see her, fucking reach out to somebody, man. Because that's pretty fucking wild to me. I don't know what that would be like. But let's hop into my area, my neck of the woods. Now, that last article wasn't very too far from me, but this one is like 100% my neck of the woods. This is the Rockford area. Uh, for shits and giggles, I was fucking around with some news articles today, and I always make fun of Florida, but I noticed that there was so many news articles in my emails that said Rockford man, Rockford man, Rockford man. It's like Rockford is a fucking terrible place to live, dude. So this headline reads, Kidnapping charge dismissed against Rockford woman after man found naked and beaten. This is a wild fucking story, and we're going to get into this shit right now. Up top, I gotta say I'm not gonna victim blame, but this man should not have been doing what he was doing. And that's all I'm gonna fucking say about that. So Lisa Lies, age 26, had kidnapping charges against her dismissed in a negotiated plea deal after she was accused, along with 4 others, of stripping a man naked, beating him with a metal pipe, and leaving him on the street. So this happened in June. According to the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department, authorities found the man in the area of Samuelson Road and Alpine Road around 5 a.m. on June 22nd. He was taken to a local hospital, and police learned that the incident started a residence in the 4300 block of Nina Terrace. According to police, the man told police that Alan Hawkins, age 42, had caught the victim having sex with his girlfriend. Don't do that. Don't fuck people's wives. Don't fuck people's girlfriends. Keep your dick to yourself. What the fuck? Not victim blaming, but that motherfucker was wrong. That's all I'm not saying he deserved to get the shit beat out of him. We're gonna learn more real fast about what happened to this person. So, as a victim attempted to leave the residence, so he's caught pants down fucking this girl, right? That is not his girlfriend. As the victim attempted to leave the residence, the dude allegedly fired a shotgun in the air. What are you doing, fucking my girlfriend? Who are you? Blow! Fucking putting holes in the drywall and shit. The victim fled, but was pursued by a van. So him and his homies got in a van and followed this motherfucker, right? 5 people reportedly got out of the van and beat the man with a pipe, later forcing him into the van where they continued to beat him. So we got, so far, I'm not a fucking cop or a lawyer or a judge or anything, but so far we got unlawful uses of a firearm, I'm assuming. Probably mob action, gang activity, abduction, kidnapping, right? And definitely battery or assault of some sort. So at Samuelson and Alpine, the assailant, this is right by my fucking house. it's, but like I live in a really, really, really nice area. But if you go, I don't know, 10 miles that way, it gets pretty rough. But so anyway, the assailants let him out of the car. They threatened to kill him. They threatened him with a machete before beating him again. The lady pleaded guilty to mob action. Mob action, I think, is like, I don't think you have to commit a crime. Maybe you do have to commit a crime and there has to be a group of you. But I remember being a kid in Belvedere walking, and there'd be like 10 of us. And we're like, oh, we're going to get mob action for fucking walking down the street. But you can't get in trouble for walking down the street in a fucking group. But so anyway, yeah, she pleaded guilty to mob action. She was sentenced to 180 days in jail with credit for 57 days already served. Now, the co-defendant, Kyla Lee, is only 18 years old, was also sentenced to 180 days in jail after also entering a guilty plea for mob action. So if you're not, I don't know, there's guilty pleas, and then there's also fucking like plea bargains and shit. If you're arrested for a whole bunch of shit, they'll be like, well, we'll charge you with the main one, and then we'll drop all the other shit. That's pretty much what plea bargains are. So, but Hawkins, now the dude who was the girl, the boyfriend of the girl getting fucked by this guy, he was charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, aggravated discharge of a firearm, mob action, and mob violence. Connor Steffler, age 20, is charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, and mob action. So these two dudes, so the Connor dude must have been like his main fucking homeboy that was like, yeah, let's fucking go. Grabbed him, threw him in the fucking van, beat the shit out of him. I'm not going to name drop, but I know people in the Rockford area who are fucking crazy. And they're all either dead or in prison now. But one of them got some drugs stolen from them, and they did a very similar situation where they fucking beat this dude up, abducted him. They shoved a beer bottle like in and out of his ass, and I don't think they lubed it up first. They fucked this guy up, and then I'm pretty sure that they like did a drive-by, drop off, roll out at the fucking hospital and dipped, and that fucking guy obviously narked like right away, but it's a fucking crazy fucking world, man. These people are fucking insane. Don't do any of this stuff, obviously. So let's find some more, should we say fun news articles? I don't think they're very fucking fun. Let's see here. Arson. That's not fucking surprising. Let's find another article here. I know I got a bunch of them here saved. I think I already talked about the one about the guy that broke. Yeah, on the podcast that I did with my wife about the guy that broke in and stole a bunch of fucking weed. Let's see this one. Belvedere man arrested in drug bust. This guy's high as a fucking kite. Look at this fucking picture. Hold on, hold on. Can you see him? This fucking dude is high as a fucking kite. Yep. Fucking stone to the bone. So anyway, fuck that article. It's boring anyway. Let's see here. I might just keep it super fucking short. So this dude was arrested in Rockford the other day for a bank robbery. What's with all these people taking mugshots with their eyes closed? I bet because they got beat the fuck up by the cops. So they're like fucking like it's fucking crazy. Let's see here. Let's find this fucking article. So Rockford police have arrested Richard Drager, age 32, for allegedly robbing the Illinois Bank and Trust on Guilford on Tuesday morning. I can't believe that people are still robbing banks with as many cameras as there are out there and witnesses, and people can, even if they don't have cameras in the bank, which you know for a fucking fact they do. But if somebody in the parking lot just has a goddamn camera, and they'd be like, there he is, that's the guy. Anyway, according to police, Drager entered the bank on Guilford Road around 11:20 a.m. As you do, you rob banks in the morning, apparently. He approached the teller and demanded money. Police said he got away with a small amount of cash. People need to understand that these places don't have like millions of fucking dollars. It's not fucking Ocean's 11 teen, okay? There's no fucking, you're not going to build a crew and you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get busted, dude. There is no perfect crime anymore. If you run a fucking red light these days, you're lucky. You got away with it. But this fucking jerk off was located outside of the bank and arrested. So he didn't even get very far. He didn't even get to fucking spend a single red cent at Taco Bell or pay his fucking child support or any of that shit. This guy got fucked right in the parking lot. He was booked into Winnebago County Jail without bond. Like, dude, stop fucking robbing banks. The fuck is wrong with these people? So this fucking guy, I'm telling you, just Google Rockford man. Actually, don't, because then you're gonna start taking away from my fucking topics and shit, all my content. So this headline reads: Rockford man arrested for spitting in paramedic's face after police investigate a stabbing. All right, let's get into. I should fucking tread lightly a little bit because I live in this area and I'm name dropping all these people and I'm cracking jokes on them, but I'm, whatever. I'm not afraid of these people. It's okay. Let's see here. A Rockford man was arrested on Monday for spitting in a paramedic's face after police investigated a stabbing. Officers responded to the 1700 block of 7th Street around 12:25 a.m. All right, if you're going to stab somebody, it should be at least after midnight, I would assume. A man slammed and locked the door on them. They spoke with the subject over the phone, being told that they would not be let inside. They eventually made their way inside to check on the reported stabbing victim, finding blood and a bloody knife. A 22-year-old man with apparent minor puncture wounds, I bet he was in an emo band, was uncooperative, as are all of the subjects inside the residence. So are they partying? A motherfucker gets poked, stabbed a little bit, and they're like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. They're being loud. Cops come. They're like, no, everything's okay in here. And they don't fucking snitch. They're not snitching, is what it sounds like. But officers attempted to detain one of the subjects, 25-year-old Candris Martin, who was wanted on warrants anyway out of Lee and Ogle counties. The man proceeded to yell and kick while inside of the squad car before requesting medical assistance. I've seen this happen a lot. People are like, fuck you, I'm innocent, fuck the cops, eat my dick, suck my ass, fuck a fucking cactus, whatever, fuck you. And then once they realize they're really going to jail, there's nowhere to go after this but jail, then they're like, I need an ambulance. And then they fucking all of a sudden, then they want help, right? But anyway, this dude was placed in an ambulance as he requested and continued to yell obscenities. Of course he fucking did. Police said that he proceeded to spit in the face of a Rockford personnel. So you asked for fucking help. You broke the law. You fucking asked for help. And then when you got it, you fucking told him to fuck off and you spit in his face, which I know for a fact is battery. And maybe someday in the future, sign up for the Patreon and I'll tell you how I know for a fact from personal experiences that that's how that shit works. So he was taken out of the ambulance and once again placed in the back of a squad car. They're like, fuck you. You don't need help, obviously. You're not fucking hurt. Your fucking neck's not broken. You're going to spit in my face. I'm trying to help you. Fuck you. Put this little motherfucker back in the car. He was put in the Rockford Police Squadron vehicle due to his actions and was transported to a local hospital. He was treated and released into police custody. That makes sense because, like EMTs, man, they don't sign up to be like restrained motherfuckers. Like, if you're having a seizure or an overdose and you're freaking out and you don't know where you are, fuck yeah, they'll help you and they'll restrain you and help you out. But if you're just like being a jerk off and spitting in their fucking face and trying to hit them, like, clearly this guy doesn't want help. I'm not gonna fucking help him. So put his bitch ass back in the fucking cop car and let's fucking go. You know, we got other people to save. What is happening, Kenneth Bird? Thank you so much for watching, man. We're just fucking hanging out and fucking chilling, and I'm just talking about random ass goofy shit that happens in my area because the place I live is like the fucking wild, wild west. I like to call it the wild, wild Midwest because that's exactly what it is. So here's another goofy fucking story, dude, from Rockford. Four charged in drive-by shooting at a Rockford convenience store. So, two Rockford men and two juveniles were charged in connection to a drive-by shooting in the parking lot of West Side Stop 937 School Street. I know for a fucking fact that School Street is fucked. That shit is hood. Do not fuck around on School Street, Church Street. If you grew up in that area, fine. If you mind your own business, fine. Like, white boys can hang out in that area, I'm pretty sure. Like, if you live there, if you're, but like, I wouldn't go there. And I'm no pussy. I'm no badass either, but I wouldn't go there because I have no reason to, obviously. But I wouldn't go stand around a fucking fuck around and find out type thing. I wouldn't fucking do it. But according to Rockford police, officers responded to the 900th block of School Street near the Lee Street intersection on Saturday night for reports of gunshots. Witnesses say a vehicle drove through the parking lot and fired several shots towards a nearby group. One individual, an unidentified man, returned fire. So fucking some homies are chilling in a fucking parking lot. Some fools roll up, blah, 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 blah. One of the homeboys fucking shot back, right? Like, that's fucking insane, dude. Imagine that shit happening to you. I don't put myself in that kind of situation, but like, a lot of people do, The company you keep, man, be careful, dude. And be careful who you pretend to be too. In my opinion, that's why Biggie and Tupac got killed, because they were pretending to be something they weren't. And we can definitely get into that in a future episode as well. But several pedestrians and vehicles were seen fleeing the area upon police arrival. Yeah, that makes sense. Video surveillance footage from the convenience store shows a silver Chevrolet Equinox drive through the store's parking lot when the driver appears to open fire. Fuck, so they got back in the whip and fucking brat shot again. The unidentified male then appears to return fire, striking a 16-year-old juvenile passenger as the vehicle fled out of the parking lot and headed eastbound on School Street. That's fucking disgusting that a 16-year-old got shot, but I'm pretty sure the 16-year-old probably knew what he was getting into, hanging out. He knew who he was hanging out with. A lot of these local gangs, they call them peewees. Like, when they get the fucking little kids to join the gangs, and a lot of them, they have them do some crazy shit to be down and get in, and then they fucking get busted and set free within a couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, I personally know a dude who was shot in his own driveway by a fucking peewee, and the fucking kid this was a grown man that got shot. And the kid that shot him was like 13, 14, and he got like 2 years probation. Like, this is how the fucking world works. This is how Rockford works anyway. And come to find out, like, that dude already had a nickname. Like, if you're in a gang and you don't have a nickname, you're not in a gang. You're not shit. But this dude had a nickname. The police already knew him. They were already on top of him. They knew he was a peewee. They knew he was coming up. It's fucking wild how these gangs work, man. But anyway, but yeah, that 16-year-old was probably some sort of a peewee, and he was probably hanging out with these motherfuckers, and he knew what he was into. I'm not saying the motherfucker deserved to get shot, definitely not, but that's what I'm thinking is what happened, just from my own personal experience and shit. Allegedly, I guess I'm supposed to say, is what I'm told by other people. But shortly after police responded to a residence in the 600 block of Bruce Street for reports of a shooting victim, later identified as a 16-year-old. The Chevrolet Equinox was found in the residence's driveway with a shattered rear window and a bullet hole in the rear seat. Fuck. So two teenagers, they were both 18 years old, Zaire Ward and Anthony Beardsley, and two juveniles, including the shooting victim, were taken into custody. So all these dudes are young as fuck. I'm not trying to compare this to like anything like this fucking national thing that happened, like Tupac and Biggie, but they were kids, in my opinion. They're like, what, 24, 25, 26 in that area? You're still a fucking kid, in my opinion. You're not fucking ready for life. And especially if you're handed all that money and shit. I'm definitely going to do an episode on Biggie and Tupac because I know a lot about it. And there's so much conspiracies and shit through it. It's fucking wild, but I definitely want to dive deep into that with you guys. So yeah, that fucking happened in Rockford. Of course it fucking did. Rockford is a wild, wild place, man. I talk a lot of shit about Florida, but I bet a lot of them Florida boys wouldn't make it a fucking weekend in Rockford. Rockford is fucking hood, hood, hood. One of my best friends, Audie Marsh, he's been to Iraq, and when he came to visit me, he's like, dude, he's like, I'd rather be in Iraq. Like the fucking just the roads alone. It sounds like you're listening to a fucking breakdown of a fucking metal band, man. It's just wild. Let's see here. I guess I'll read one more article and then we'll fucking skip out. Because as I stated earlier, I like to keep these short and sweet when I'm by myself and there's nobody watching or anything. I know you guys will see it later. Um, but it's just a little harder when there's no one to feed off of and bust jokes on and whatever. Again, in Rockford, Eric Jackson, age 40, has been found guilty of killing Keandra Austin and her 3 children. Jackson was found guilty after a week-long trial in which he represented himself. Don't ever represent yourself. There's a few rules that I have, all right? Never go to a second location and don't represent yourself in the fucking court of law. I got a couple other ones. You got to fucking go to Don't Blame Us podcast to see the others because I forgot the other 2. Austin was found inside of her room after a fire on Rockford's Garfield Drive back in 2016, along with her 3 children. She was pregnant at the time. I don't know why I said fire. I think I fucking misread a couple of sentences here. So the man's last name is Jackson. The woman's last name is Austin. She was found inside her home after a fire on Rockford's Garfield Drive. Along with her 3 children, she was pregnant. It makes me wonder, like, I don't know. We'll find out. Like, was the house set on fire or what? We'll get into it. Like I said, like, I like to find crazy articles and read them to you guys live. That way we can learn with each other and discuss it. I don't like to pretend that I know everything. All I can do is, like, just fucking elaborate and try to relate to this topic from my personal experiences. That's all I do. An autopsy showed that Austin had been stabbed to death before the house was set on fire. Her kids all died from smoke inhalation. What a fucking scumbag. Jackson lived down the street. Detectives learned that Austin had been having problems with Jackson, and he had made statements to multiple individuals that he and another person had set fire to the residence. That's another thing you don't do. Don't brag about the crimes you commit. Don't fucking do it. What the fuck is wrong with you? But first and foremost, don't stab pregnant ladies and don't set shit on fire. The fuck? He was arrested 5 years after the family died. 5 fucking years this guy was walking around untouched, man. And then, like, at least they caught up with his ass, though. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. So there is our live for tonight. I'm going to end this. Remember, go to mymerchguy.com for 10% off. Check out Fright Fest 4D for 10% off. Packages, all that. Please hit up patreon.com/HO1D. You can join and support this channel for as little as $2 a month. You're not even going to miss the $2. You won't even notice that it's gone. Other than that, join the Facebook group, Don't Blame Us Network. Let's fucking hang out. You are now exiting the house of 1,000 discourses. Thank you so much.